It is Racket versus Racket.
The one you've all been waiting for.
Sure. It is the Pro Staff X versus
The Head Prestige Auxetic 2.0 MP.
So 100 square inch head for the Pro Staff, 315 grams weight, so quite heavy for a 100 square inch head. A 16 by 19 pattern.
Yeah, you got to remember the X was a brand new racket in the Pro Staff family, so never would have had a comparison.
I do remember, yeah.
To really make this now.
Yeah.
But now we do. The Prestige MP, the Mid Plus, it's a 99 square inch head, so a 1 square inch smaller than that Pro Staff X. Weight, slightly lighter, it's actually 310 grams. And the string pattern, what was the string pattern of that one?
That's a 16 by 19.
So this one is actually an 18-19.
Spooky.
So same amount of crosses, but the mains, they've packed a couple more in.
Very nice. So we'll take these through the regular categories: power, spin, touch and feel, precision, control, and see which one comes out on top.
Let's give it a go.
Rolls Royce v Rolls Royce. An 80s Rolls Royce versus a 90s Rolls Royce.
Just the Prestige versus the Pro Staff.
Sure. Okay, we have just finished playing with the Head Prestige MP, which has been going up against
the Pro Staff X. Remember the Pro Staff X being the only 100 square inch racket in the Pro Staff family. And of course there isn't a 100 square inch racket in the Prestige family.
No, this one is a 99. They've got 98, a 99, 95, all in the range, which I find slightly confusing and odd.
Joe likes things logically laid out in a systematic, uniformed way.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Yeah, don't we all?
This is an 18-19 swinging pattern versus the more traditional 16-19. Well, what did you get?
Well, and we were literally just saying off camera before we started, how they play to how they should play based on those specs really plays out. So 16-19 string pattern, an open string pattern, as in bigger gaps between the strings. Obviously it's also a 100 square inch head compared to the 99 square inch head, so it's already smaller, and you then pack in another couple of down strings, another couple of main strings. The gaps between the strings are smaller, which changes how the racket plays. Yeah. And it absolutely does.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. I think that this is when you get to the back of the court and you want it something that's letting the ball drop, brushing up it. I think there's a clear winner. Obviously, we're going to get to our scores in a minute, but this does much more on that sort of traditional prestige Pro Staffy precision sort of vibe, I would say, on most things.
You're almost saying that the Pro Staff isn't Pro Staffy.
It's less Pro Staffy than this lighter prestigious prestige. You got that? So let's go through some scores. So the first category, as always, is power. Power. Now,
the important one.
Apparently so. Now, I think that both rackets produce power, but it's not their main attribute by any stretch. And I think certainly with the Prestige, that bigger, longer swing when you're set up and you can go, that's where you're creating power. You're not flicking the ball around, you're not getting easy access to power from shorter compact swings, you're getting it from being set, ready to go, swiping through.
Yeah, big, long, heavy, flat swings. The Prestige is giving you some big power behind it.
Yes.
The Pro Staff also giving you big power when you're set up, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it also can give you some power, return a serve, having to shorten the backswing a bit, pushing it around, utilising a shorter backswing. It gives you something, partly from the 100 square inch head and also from the 16-19 string pattern. So it's a more playable Pro Staff, and it's in those scenarios where you're under pressure defending that it comes into its own, as opposed to a 97's Pro Staff.
Absolutely what I would say. This is easier to play with. Maybe that extra square inch of head size makes it a little bit easier, but it's certainly easier, and in terms of easy access to power, winner.
Absolutely.
On to spin. Now, we're obviously playing with plenty of topspin from the back of the court. We're trying to work in some slice, things like that. And it's not the easiest with the Prestige.
It's not the easiest of either of them, really. They're not spin.
No,
they're not spin machines.
But the Pro Staff was notably easier, especially creating topspin deep in the court. Much easier.
Yeah, for exactly the same reasons as the Power. The extra space in between the strings allows the strings to move a bit more. The open string pattern just gives you a little bit more bite and a little bit more topspin.
Yeah,
and it's as simple as that.
We get to touch and feel. So we start volley to volley, really quick, really intense. And for me, the Prestige is brilliant. Each racket at each different weight of the Prestige, and obviously all of the other bits that go into the Prestige range, which is different head sizes, different balance points, all that sort of stuff.
Get
over it. But what you get is high quality feel, great feedback, really sharp, really plush and luxurious feel.
And this is also where the exotic comes in, right?
Yes.
That feeling in your hands, solid.
Yeah.
Comfortable especially on hard, fast volleys where you just have the racket behind the ball.
Absolutely top class for that sort of thing, and definitely wins out in that regard against the Pro Staff X. Yeah,
it definitely has more feel.
Yes.
Than the Pro Staff.
Yes,
sure.
It does.
It actually almost feels more solid.
Yes.
Flimsy is not the right word, but you can feel.
No, flimsy sounds too negative.
You can feel flex and. Yeah, it doesn't feel as certainly not as stiff or as stable. Stable.
Yes.
The Prestige is more stable and therefore has more feel.
Yes, agreed. So finally, precision control, which is what these rackets are all about, albeit these are the hedging their bets sort of version, especially with the Pro Staff.
Yep.
And I think in our original review, one of our coaches, Ben, said that it's not a Pro Staff. And I know exactly what he means when you play with it. It doesn't feel like it has that same precision, even close to a 97 or the RF, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly a non-Pro Staffy Pro Staff.
Yes. Whereas this is quite prestige-y.
Yeah.
This is quite prestige. I think in terms of precision and control, I think from all over the court, my vote would go for this in terms of precision. But if I was going to play with the racket week in, week out, match after match, it's going to be the X because it's more forgiving.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think if you're in for an easier time, and maybe if you're a more kind of recreational leisure player who's playing once or twice a week, who isn't out there training and hitting thousands of balls, so if you get that timing spot on, you're always going to want something that's slightly more forgiving. So if you're comparing these two brackets, trying to select one to go with, the slightly bigger head and the slightly more open string pattern is going to make it more forgiving, easier to get on with, and even on your bad days it'll perform for you. On your best days you might prefer the Prestige, but you're probably going to have fewer of those if you are not playing or training seriously.
Yes. So there you have it. It's an overall win for the X. We're calling it the X, like Twitter. It's the Pro Staff X.
Sued.
It's an overall win for the Pro Staff X. Both fabulous rackets, but this just edges it overall. If you'd like more detail about each of these rackets, check out our full reviews that are on the channel. Let us know what you think.